Alright, how's it going everybody? Today we're going to be doing some more Nomad survival, and what I wanted to do for this video was kind of give you guys a good guide on getting the level 77 achievement. Just browsing the Steam forums for this game, that was one of the things that popped up a lot, was how am I supposed to get to this level, 77 achievement, and it is kind of difficult, but the solutions that I saw kind of revolved around playing on dry marsh and just running away from the last boss. And that game would take you around like 45 minutes to an hour. Obviously you could speed it up and have it be a little bit faster, but you can do this just in a normal game. So we're gonna go cultist, and I'm gonna take Nomad just because I feel like the rerolls are super helpful. And we're going to do it on 100% speed, and we're going to be doing it on the crossroads. Now, the reason why I'm going the cultist is because the cultist has the best clear just from the weapon skill itself. So this allows you a lot more points for basically the two things that you need 100% if you're going to be doing this challenge is the item pickup range to max, as well as the experience to max. And getting both of those to max level, it's going to take you 20 levels. So having this weapon skill that has fantastic clear in itself is extremely important. And I would always prioritize the EXP over the item pickup range, especially early on in the game, just because you're not really killing that many things as it is. So whether or not you pick it up, you can just walk into it. It's not that big of a deal. The second thing that you want to go is you want to make sure that you are getting your SP regen up as fast as you possibly can. The cultist, that ability, you just want it to be going off as much as possible. You want to be clearing as fast as possible. So SP regen up is super important. And you don't need to worry about like full clearing the map. As you can see, I'm running through zombies quite often, but the damage is so low, it's not really that big of a deal. And for the most part, you can pretty much just play around the holes that you make with your ability. So don't worry about it. Another thing that you want to make sure you get is weapon skill size. That is always going to be huge for your clear speed with the weapon skill. And then I like to pick up things like chain light shock and the damage percent increase, as well as Spectral Sword. Spectral Sword basically just doubles your damage output because it's casting the weapon skill a second time. So that is extremely important for this build. I think Chain Light Shock is great to clear out little holes for you to walk through. I think that is so important. And then you kind of want to figure out what skill you want to go for single target. The negative about the cultist is that you don't really have the best single target damage because your weapon skill, while good against normal mobs, doesn't actually hit bosses unless you're fortunate enough to have them go very close to mobs. But the negative is when bosses spawn, for the most part, the amount of AI spawning is significantly lower than normal. So it's important that you have an ability that will do single target damage. Magic Missile is pretty good because it targets the enemy closest to you, and you can just kind of make it to where the boss is always close to you. Same thing with Fireball. Fireball shoots at the targets closest to you. So you can also play around standing next to the boss. This is only a little difficult with the last two bosses, the ones where the 21 minute is the guy that has the laser beams, and the last boss, which is the accumulation of every boss. And it's basically the same thing. It's the laser beams. The laser beams are the biggest problem. So as you can see, we're 4 minutes in, we're already level 30, so things are going pretty well. I am interested to see which relics I'll be getting. I might change up my build depending on what relics I grab. Those are always super important. If you get a relic like, say, the Magic Missile relic, that can increase your DPS significantly for single target. So always would recommend picking up Magic Missile if you grab that relic, especially if you get two. Um, super, super strong. Same thing with Infernal Ray. Infernal Ray is also very strong. I'm basically just going to be rolling for SP regen and the item pickup range now, since we have maxed out the study, so we don't have to worry about the EXP anymore. We're getting the most EXP we can. The Cultist is also extremely good because it can one-shot the portals. The portals, as well as the crystallized chests, if you play it on the Dry Marsh, are technically mobs that you can target, and the weapon skill does 99999, and that is just going to basically destroy them. So one other important thing when you're going for this level 77 achievement is you always want to take Destiny. You always want to make sure you're grabbing those free levels, because if you think about it, the chests spawn at 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So that is 5 levels just from the normal chests from the portals. And then you also have the boss at 7 minutes, 14 minutes, and 21 minutes. And between those 3 things, that's going to be 8 levels. So I know a lot of the times you guys are probably all pretty close. And if you're not picking those chest free levels, it's going to be much, much harder to actually hit level 77. Granted, that's not to say that it's impossible, but it is just significantly harder. So my single target DPS is going to be Fireball, and that's because I picked up that first relic. So the first Fireball relic, if you haven't seen my Fireball video, it doubles the size of your Fireball, and that's extremely strong. It's very, very good. And Fireball itself has really, really good single target damage. It hits a lot. So with this first one, I mean, same thing. If you have Magic Missile, if you have Fireball, you just want to make sure you're playing close to the boss. This boss, not very difficult to kill. Obviously, you got to watch out for the red balls that are circling. But you could just, for the most part, walk in a circle and not really worry about it too much. If you saw that, I got the Magic Missile Relic, and that first one does Pierce and Size doubled. So that is very, very good. Just basically makes it to where you hit more mobs. This is going to help significantly for clear speed. But for the most part, since you already have, you know, SP regen maxed out, and you're playing the Cultist, your clear is going to be insane. Also, since I'm going Fireball, it might be relevant to, say you're playing Fireball, or maybe you're going Spectral Bow, or any type of ability that has any projectiles. Duplication is always very, very strong. I would say it's not the most important thing in the world, because our clear for this build is completely focused around using your weapon skill for the Cultist, so it's not like something you need to waste levels on. Always focus on item pickup range and EXP. But if you're just kind of going for whatever now and you've gotten everything you need, feel free. It's never a bad idea. I always go weapon skill size because weapon skill size increases the clear speed for your weapon skill for the Cultist. It increases the explosion damage, basically. We're on pretty good pace, though. We're almost level 50, and we're 10 minutes in. I only wish more mobs spawn. It'd be really nice if it wasn't... I don't want to say it's slow, but it's definitely not, you know, vampire survival level mods. Oh, nice. So we got Fireball to level 2, so we're gonna also focus on getting that up. The second relic, by the way, it increases the shrapnel. So the shrapnel is just, this explosion does a ton of damage. It's kind of similar to the spark relic, which has those, or sorry, the chain light shock relic. That adds those little sparks around the weapon ability. It just increases clear speed, basically. We're still also looking for item pickup. We're at level 8 right now, so we got 2 more levels there. So I'm just gonna dive for those, because Basically, when you max that out, it makes it to where as long as the mob pretty much dies on screen, you're going to be able to pick up the gem without moving that much. And you're basically just going to play around the center and walk in a circle. That's definitely the best way. The one thing I wish they added into this game is relics for your passive skills. I think that'd be really cool if there's some type of relics for your for your passive skills. Like maybe you can get a passive, you do the experience passive, right? And the relic doubles your your EXP, or maybe it just increases it by like 5%. Same thing with the weapon pickup range, or sorry, the item pickup range. Maybe it doubles it. Maybe it makes it to where all gems on the map slowly go towards you. Things like that would be really interesting. But as you can see, you don't really have to worry about clear speed. The cultist weapon skill is fantastic. So now it's really just on you once you get these maxed out. Feel free to go whatever you want. But just play around the center and make sure you're always walking a little bit into the walkways, into the crossroads. Because sometimes things will die off screen, especially with the cultist weapon skill. And you just want to make sure that you're able to get out there. So I personally am going to dive right now for the fireball weapon skill. We're going to make sure that that gets maxed out, basically. Because you don't get that shrapnel increase, the second relic, until you hit level 10. Here's Cthulhu. Not a difficult boss. You just want to make sure that the specters that it summons do not hit you. They deal pretty decent damage, but they're just slightly faster than he is. As you can see, they're cultists, which is pretty funny. But yeah, just play close to the boss, make sure that the fireballs or magic missile are targeting it, and it'll go down pretty fast. The specters, they will stay a little bit longer, so do be careful. Just make sure you're paying attention. So we got both of these, which is funny because I wasn't specifically going for either of these, but they're both really good. The second relic for magic missile, which by the way, when I did this magic missile video, it took me 4 hours before I got both relics, so I'm kind of salty right now. But it changes the projectile into a constant beam, and that is just so strong for single target damage. It's very, very good. Yeah, we'll take that. Alright, nice. So now, if you could see these little, like, white pieces exploding off of where the fireballs explode, that's the shrapnel that I was talking about on the second relic. So, it just kind of explodes out everywhere and is really, really good. So, my clear right now is top-notch, I have to say. Both these skills, both fireball as well as magic missile, and the cultist weapon skill are extremely strong when it comes to clear speed. And we should be able to get magic missile to level 10 also, so that's gonna be awesome. You'll see what it looks like. It's really, really funny. It's if I can say, the #1 gamer skill out there. I do wish the normal magic missile was changed, because it doesn't really look like anything. It just looks like you got like a sparkler and you're just shooting out little rainbow colors. It's kind of underwhelming in comparison to some of the other FX for abilities, but once you get it to level 10, it does look significantly better with or without the relic. It turns into more of a flamethrower. Wow. Magic missile's like, yeah, no, we're good. This is what I'm complaining about, though, in regards to how many mobs spawn. I mean, it's like 5 to 10 things are spawning at a time, so leveling up is extremely hard. That's why you definitely want to make sure that you're grabbing those free levels from the chests. Those are very, very important to hitting level 77. Before they had that, it was so difficult hitting level 77. It was possible, but it was not the easiest thing in the world. Alright, we're only 2 away from Magic Missile at level 10. That is great. We're gonna hit level probably like 65, 66 by 20, which is also fantastic. The other important thing to know is you have to finish the run. Just because you hit level 77 doesn't matter. Wow, this sucks. Guess we'll take duplication. It is really not wanting to drop Magic Missile for me. It knows once I get that, it's just not going to be that fun. Getting Magic Missile to level 10, especially with the second relic, increases your boss DPS a ton. I will say, they have to like retune the ability a little bit. If I do get it to level 10, you'll see that it's not that good at actually targeting a single target. It's good for overall clear, but the skill itself struggles to actually just hit one mob, which is frustrating in itself. Once the 20-minute portal spawns, I would recommend just leaving it. Don't worry about it. This third boss is definitely the most annoying boss, just mainly due to the fact that everything going on in the map right now really impacts where you're able to move. And if you throw in this boss, there's a not like 100% chance you're gonna die, but there's a very high chance that you're not gonna have the best time. But as you can see, our single target is through the roof right now. But you see the 2 laser beams that are on the side. Add in the things that are falling from the sky. Oh, fantastic. I got the boss relic. That is great. But yeah, throw in the things that are on the side and you're going to be sad. Between that, the bugs that spawn these, let's see if we can find her. This little circle right here that deals damage, those are spawned from mobs that die. And so between that, these exclamation marks falling from the sky, and that boss, you're very limited in where you can go. So sometimes it's just not the greatest thing in the world. We got another fireball relic, which just increases the base damage. That relic that you saw me grab earlier is this one right here. This basically just gives you whatever the boss's ability was that you just fought. So since we just fought that boss with the laser beams, it gives you these 2 laser beams that go around you that are super duper cool. I really like this ability. And it'll look really nice if I'm able to get Magic Missile to max rank. So right now we're level 70. We got 7 minutes left. We just need to make sure that we level up 6 more times before the end of the game. And the reason why that is because at 25 we get another chest, and that chest guarantees us a free level. So we just need to get to level 76. I would say I wish mobs spawned faster still, but as always, I can't change anything. There's a pretty big surge of the Draculas right now, and then there's also a large amount of mobs that spawn around 26, 27 minutes. It's the giant flying like manta ray looking guys. So we still have 2 pretty good opportunities to get like a lot of levels. By a lot I just mean 1 or 2. They really increase the amount of experience you need to level up at these last levels. It really doesn't want to give me this Magic Missile though, I have to say, it's kind of sad. I'll use all my rerolls for it once we get to the next level, but it is frustrating. Hopefully this portal can just spawn in the middle. Nice, it did. That's some good RNG. Nice, okay. See down, this is what... Oh, let's see what we got here. We'll just take another fireball, that's pretty funny. Okay, since we have Magic Missile and we have Fireball, we'll get the last thing for weapon skill size. So yeah, this laser beam that is Gamer Lights, this is Magic Missile at level 10 with 2 relics. It is so fun. It looks great. It looks especially good with the boss skill that I have right now. I have to say, that definitely makes it look nicer. And the only thing I wish I had right now is this guy right here, Infernal Ray. I wish I had Infernal Ray to max level as well, because when Infernal Ray gets max level, you'll have 2 laser beams going at the same time and they're constant. So it's very similar to this boss ability, except for it's this big purple ray. So when you throw both of those together, if you're lucky enough to get the timing, you can make it to where you have 4 beams spraying around you, and that is awesome. But as you can see, we're level 76 right now, and we still have 3 minutes, and we're definitely going to hit level 77 right here. So, as you can see, as long as you make sure you're getting those chests to the free levels, you're going to have a significantly easier time hitting level 77. It's just 5 free levels, and there's absolutely no reason for you to not grab those. If you're having issues with this challenge, that is most likely going to be the solution for you. And you could do the same thing on Dry Marsh. I would just suggest using this map because you just get more mobs, basically. And that's definitely more important than Dry Marsh. You can do it on Dry Marsh. It is a lot easier to run away from the final boss, so if you want to take it a little bit slower, you can just run away from the final boss and clear out mobs very slowly. But I'm very against that because only like 7 or 8 things spawn at a time. This game, I don't know if it's just trying to make your life easier, basically, by decreasing the amount of mobs that spawn when the final boss spawns, but it does make it to where just nothing spawning, kind of. It's kind of sad. Like right now, there's like 1 or 2 things spawning in this last minute. Once it hits 29, so that's kind of sad, in my opinion. Anyways, I would like to be, you know, killing things, getting those last levels on my weapon skills, stuff like that. But instead, it just makes it to where nothing spawns. So since we already hit level 70, we just need to make sure we play very carefully around this last boss. The biggest thing to look out for that has killed me a bajillion times is the red circles. Oh, and I stood on the specters. So those red circles around the outside are the most detrimental thing to hitting max level and killing the boss, basically. That was dumb of me because I was standing on top of the boss. So the second boss ability, Cthulhu, it'll spawn those little specters. But as you can see, that's definitely the easiest way to hit level 77. Play this map, make sure you grab the chests every single time you want to grab that level, and make sure you have a nice single target DPS ability. Fireball's good, Magic Missile's really good, because both of those abilities target the closest enemy to you, and that makes it a lot easier to make sure that the boss is the one that's actually taking the damage. And then outside of that, I think the Cultist is easily the best character for you to go, because it makes it to where you're able to clear very, very easily without putting points into weapon skills. This makes it to where you can get that item pickup range and the EXP bonus significantly faster. I always like Nomad because Nomad makes it to where you can really dig for those abilities that you're looking for. I think that's so important. As you saw, I was rerolling a ton, and if it wasn't for Nomad, you just would not have the same opportunity. I'm not saying that is the end-all be-all, but that basically guarantees that you'll at least get that EXP and the item pickup range to max level. Sorry about the death at the end, that was me kind of being stupid, but as you can see, hitting level 77 is not the issue. We're level 80 here. So as long as you can just make sure you play a little bit smarter than I did and not stand on 1 pixel, you'll have a pretty easy job getting that level 77 achievement. So if this helps you guys out, let me know down below. If you guys have any other achievements that you're kind of struggling with, definitely let me know, and I can make a video on it. Other than that, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you on the next one.